and welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Sectarian violence in Gulf's Kurram district, government fails to act. POJK activist criticizes Pakistan government over neglect of basic needs of its citizen. And India's Kutch Ranotsav boosts tourism and local economy. Let's begin the show. India, being a rising economic giant, is fast becoming the go-to destination for global businesses. The 43rd India International Trade Fair in New Delhi is a vibrant celebration of India's culture, commerce, and cutting-edge innovation, offering a dynamic platform for global exchange. With 11 countries joining the event, the IITF is a true reflection of India's growing international influence and collaborative spirit.
Welcome to the India International Trade Fair, where the world's products and cultures seamlessly converge. Held in the heart of the national capital, this dynamic event offers a unique platform for fostering global trade and collaboration, uniting nations to drive progress. In the past few decades, India has transformed into a thriving hub for international business, attracting investment and shaping global markets.
We have to be dependent on self-reliance as well. Our economy and economic growth mostly should depend on the Indian produced, make in India, or whatever I think is small. The very traditional industries we are having, we have to only provide them the market among the Western world. So here we are just standing in front of the India International Trade Fair. We have given opportunity to the whole world also. Come, see us, and then you promote.
India's emergence as a global investment hub is fueled by its booming economy and strategic efforts to attract foreign capital from Africa, Europe, America, and Asia. With steady economic growth, a vast consumer market, and diverse industries, India offers significant opportunities for countries like Tunisia. Tunisia's rich heritage in art and craftsmanship, particularly olive wood crafts, has fostered strong ties with India, creating a promising market for Tunisian businesses.
It's not my first time that I am in India, and it's not by coincidence. It's like I was lucky to get like a success here for my products.
In recent years, India's trade ties with Southeast Asia have blossomed, with Thailand standing out as a key partner, particularly in the thriving pharmaceutical and healthcare sectors. As one of the ASEAN's economic powerhouses, Thailand offers abundant opportunities for India, especially in medical products. Traditional Thai massage oils, renowned for their ability to ease muscle pain, cramps, and shoulder aches, hold promising potential in India's expanding wellness market.
This trade fair actually, because we interact with a lot of customers from India, we can promote our product which is manufactured in Thailand to the Indian market. We can give them a good pure herbal product and then they can use it for it. We can expand our market, we can expand our audience with it. And we are also happy our audience and customers are also becoming happy.
In recent years, India's trade ties with the Middle East have grown significantly, with Lebanon emerging as a key partner. Lebanon offers vast opportunities for India, especially in jewelry and precious stones. Bracelets made from these precious stones play a vital role in jewelry marketing. This strengthening relationship is unlocking new prospects for trade and cooperation between the two countries.
It's items from Lebanon which are made up of rare Arabic stones, and it is handmade. Like some stones like this is hemimorphite, and this is Amazonite and other stuff. This brass items is attracting the Indians, and these flower pots, and it also increase our relationship with India.
From intricate wooden crafts to therapeutic medicinal oils, the global market offers a wealth of investment opportunities in India. Through this trade fair, India reaffirms its commitment to the Make in India initiative, not only promoting its own industries but also providing a platform for countries worldwide to showcase their businesses and explore investment opportunities in India. By fostering global collaboration, this fair serves as a bridge connecting diverse industries and creating pathways for mutually beneficial partnerships while inviting international investments to tap into India's dynamic and rapidly growing economy.
Moving on, Pakistan's Kurram district descends further into chaos as sectarian violence ravages the region unchecked. Over 130 lives have been lost in just 10 days, with Shia Muslims targeted in brazen attacks, even under military and police escort. The ambush in Lower Kurram's Ochat area exposes a fractured nation where fragile ceasefires fail and the state's promises of protection ring hollow, leaving vulnerable communities to fend for themselves amid growing despair. A report.
Deadly sectarian violence continues to ravage Pakistan's northwestern Kurram district, where over 130 lives have been lost in the past 10 days, despite a tentative ceasefire. The latest ambush on two passenger vans in Lower Kurram's Ochat area highlights the perilous plight of Shia Muslims under militant attacks, even with police and military escorts. The victims, mostly Shia Muslims traveling from Parachinar, were attacked as their convoy entered Sunni-majority villages. Disturbing footage from the scene reveals the horrifying aftermath. Blood-soaked streets, destroyed vehicles, and grief-stricken survivors. Parachinar resident Nasir Hussain condemned the state's inability to ensure safety.
پرون کومه دلهراش واقع شوی دی او د مین روډ نه سکیورټي حصار کې صدی کې کومه کنوایی و هغه آرمی او د پولیس اف سی نگرانۍ کې کار خود سیده سیده دغه علاقې کې بار بار واقعیات کیږي مین روډ دی د ریاست ذمہ داری دی څه دا روډ کلیر کی او د کومه کروایی شوی دی په کار دی فورا د کومه ناصر دی د شتګرد ناصر دغه کروایی وشي دا د فورا ونیولای شي.
Pakistan's military has faced harsh criticism for its handling of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's volatile tribal regions. Over the years, the military's alliances with tribal factions, many harboring Sunni extremist sympathies, have exacerbated sectarian tensions. Instead of fostering stability, these partnerships have emboldened extremist militias like the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, Hafiz Gul Bahadur faction, and others, fueling the rise of violence as a tool of dominance. Hospitals in Parachinar struggle to manage the fallout.
روان دي سچویشن چې کوم جاری دی په دې کې لګبګ 50 کسان موږ سره کوم دي هغه ډیډ بوډیز ریسیو شوي دي او تقریبا 100 نه زیات چې کوم دي هغه موږ سره زخمیان دي زخمیانو کې ډیر داسې و چې هغه موږ کور ته ولېږلو کوم چې سیریس وو هغه موږ مینیج کړي دي هغه مو ریټین کړي دي هغه ټریټمنټ روان دی هغه چې کوم سرجریز دی هغه ډے نایټ 24/7 موږ هغه سرجریز جاری ساتلي دي هغه سره د وجې نه.
Kurram district bordering Afghanistan has long been a flashpoint for sectarian strife. The influence of militant groups linked to the Afghan Taliban further destabilizes the region, exploiting the Sunni-Shia divide for their agendas. The Shia community in Kurram remains under siege, trapped in a cycle of fear and violence. Despite government assurances, Pakistan's fractured governance and failure to act decisively against rising extremism have left its citizens vulnerable to the unchecked power of radicalized factions. The devastating events in Kurram serve as a stark reminder of Pakistan's growing inability to protect its citizens. As the death toll climbs and despair grows, the pressing question remains: will the state finally act Or will it allow sectarian militias to continue tearing the nation apart?
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Uber launched a water transport hailing service on scenic Dal Lake in Srinagar, offering rides on boats popular with tourists. Users of the service can book trips on the lake's traditional wooden shikara boats if they make reservations at least 12 hours and up to 15 days in advance. The ride-hailing app already offers water transport services in London and some other cities, but this is its first time in India. Around 4,000 shikaras, often decorated and canopied, operate on Dal Lake and are popular among locals as well as tourists. Uber will match customers with shikara operators but will not charge a fee on rides booked through its app. All of the boat tickets paid by passengers would go to the shikara operator, it said. Shikara operators were divided on Uber's entry into their sector, with some saying it would boost their business now that tourists can book rides well in advance, while others insisted it would make little difference. Seoul residents were left in a state of anxiety, feeling deeply disturbed and afraid after President Yoon Suk-yeol unexpectedly declared martial law the night before, only to reverse the move hours later, triggering the biggest political crisis in decades in Asia's fourth largest economy. Kim Byung-in, another Seoul resident, voices deep disturbance over the situation and expressed concern about the country's future. Following Yoon's declaration, chaotic scenes broke out as helmeted troops climbed into the parliament building through shattered windows and military helicopters hovered overhead. Parliamentary aides responded by using fire extinguishers to repel the soldiers, and protesters scuffled with police outside. In a swift response within hours of the declaration, South Korea's parliament, with 190 of its 300 members present, unanimously passed a motion requiring martial law to be lifted, including all 18 members present from Yoon's party. The president then rescinded the declaration. In the sun-drenched fields of Manouba, Tunisia, Faiza Hamdoui tends to delicate purple flowers that hold one of the world's most precious spices, saffron, often called red gold. After leaving her administrative career in 2000 to pursue her passion for farming, Hamdoui has emerged as a pioneer in Tunisia's nascent saffron industry, marking her fourth successful year of cultivation. The venture began when Algerian saffron producer Torj Mohamed Dia Aldin approached her with the idea following his successful experiments in Algeria. The process requires careful handling of each flower to extract just 3 precious stigmas, which are then dried naturally before being bottled for consumption. The success of this venture has inspired both Hamdoui and Dia Aldin to think bigger.
A Pakistan-occupied Jammu-Kashmir activist exposed the double standards of Pakistan's administration in the illegally occupied region of Jammu and Kashmir, which are making life miserable for the region's residents. Criticizing the administration's malicious policies, he revealed how the government on one hand is cutting subsidies on electricity and essential food items, while on the other it is investing heavily in arms and ammunition, neglecting the basic needs of the people. The worsening condition of locals is now creating a situation of unrest among them. We have a report.
The life of people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is worsening every other day, with the residents forced to lead their lives in dearth and poverty. Their lives were already precarious, which the withdrawal of subsidies from the food essentials and electricity worsened, adding to the hardships of locals. Now the residents are frustrated, calling the step Pakistan's dual-faced policy, as the administration is investing heavily in arms ammunition, putting them on the pedestal to struggle for their lives in scarcity. POJK activist Shaukat Nawaz Mir on the issue raised his voice, criticizing Islamabad's hypocrisy and double standard towards the occupied region.
ये जो बार बार पीट रहे जनाब कि हमारा खजाना खाली हो गया है, हमारे रियासत के ऊपर बोझ पड़ गया है, इनका दौरा मेयार देखें। अशराफिया की मुराद जहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ा जो है खजाना जो है वो उस तरफ लग रहा है, जो कौमी खजाने से रकम जा रही है, उधर तो ये कमी नहीं कर रहे, और दूसरी तरफ ये कह रहे हैं जी कि हमें आटे में और बिजली के अंदर जो है जी बड़ा नुकसान हो रहा है, हम सब्सिडी नहीं दे सकते। तो इसलिए मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि उन दो चीज़ों से तीसरी जो सबसे अहम चीज़ है वो इशराफिया की मुराद का खात्मा है। इसी तरह जो हाई कोर्ट 2019 का जो हाई कोर्ट का फैसला था नीलम झेलम प्रोजेक्ट के हवाले से, वो हमारी हक मलकियत का फैसला था। वो फैसला ये कहता है कि जितने भी प्रोजेक्ट लग चुके हैं या लगने जा रहे हैं, उन तमाम प्रोजेक्ट के जो एग्रीमेंट है वो रियासती हुकूमत के साथ किए जाएँ, और जो महकमा मालियात की NOC ली गई है उसके मुताबिक तमाम प्रोजेक्टों को कंप्लीट किया जाए।
POJK has long remained an impoverished region due to an ineffective and corrupt administration, coupled with Pakistan's decades of deliberate neglect towards infrastructure and social development. For decades, the residents of POJK have been protesting against inflated electricity bills and high prices of wheat flour and other essential food items. But the local administration in the region has regularly snubbed these protests and demands of the locals. These incidents not only demonstrate the administrative failure of the puppet government in POJK, but also highlight the double standards of the Pakistan administration towards the POJK people.
हमारे अरबों रुपए जो हैं वो इस वक्त पाकिस्तान के बैंकों में मौजूद हैं। अगर हमारा अपना बैंक जो है कश्मीर बैंक, वो जब कायम हो जाता है, शेड्यूल हो जाता है, तो मैं ये कहूँगा कश्मीर की आवाम को किसी जगह से कर्ज उधार लेने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, हमारी मईशत मजबूत हो जाएगी और हम अपने पाँव पे खड़े हो जाएंगे।
These are not the only issues the region is grappling with. Failures in public services such as healthcare and education are further pushing the region into deeper adversity. These are signs of unrest brewing among the locals, and it would be no surprise if yet another massive protest against Pakistan and its stooge administration erupts across the illegally occupied territory in the coming times.
Now we bring you to the shimmering white sands of Kutch, where the Ran Utsav is transforming lives and landscapes. Since its launch in 2005, this cultural festival has showcased Kutch's beauty while creating thousands of jobs for locals, from artisans to performers. Let's see how this vibrant celebration fuels livelihoods and preserves the region's rich heritage, transforming the desert into a thriving hub of art, music and tourism. The Run of Kutch dazzles with its shimmering white salt desert, vibrant culture and breathtaking sunsets. Since its launch in 2005 by then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi, the annual Run Utsav has breathed new life into the region, turning it into a global cultural wonderland. This celebration of art, tradition and nature fuels the economy, draws travelers from around the world and transforms the silent desert into a bustling hub of color, music and joy.
पूरे रण उत्सव में हर एक एरिया में आप जाओगे तो आपको कच्छ की एक छाप दिखेगी, कच्छ का कल्चर दिखेगा, कच्छ की आर्ट दिखेगी। कहीं से भी गेस्ट आए, साउथ इंडिया से आए, नॉर्थ से आए, वेस्ट से आए, बट उसको इस जगह में आके ज़रूर लगेगा कि हम कच्छ में आए हैं। यहाँ पे क्राफ्ट की मार्केट है जहाँ पे कच्छ की जो पॉपुलर चीज़ें हैं वो सब चीज़ें मिलेंगी। आप हमारे डाइनिंग हॉल में जाओगे तो पूरा डाइनिंग कच्छ से सजा हुआ है। कच्ची मार्केट हम लोगों ने डेवलप करी है यहाँ पे।
The tent city, the centerpiece of the Ran Utsav, attracted 7.42 lakh tourists last year, generating over rupees 6 crore for craft stalls and rupees 1.36 crore for food stalls. This year, 400 tents with 3-star amenities has been set up to host tourists till February 28th next year.
In 2023-24 Ran Utsav, there was a total of 7.42 lakh visitors coming there. So that would have, translated into lots of employment opportunities, direct or indirect. For example, as a tourist guide, as someone who's providing them accommodation, maybe someone who is providing them transportation. So many ways that the locals would have, benefited out of this event.
What began as a 3-day event has transformed the once barren white desert into the world's longest festival and a vibrant tourist hotspot, embodying the saying, "If you haven't seen Kutch, you haven't seen anything."
मैं लंदन में जॉब करती हूँ मैं गुजराती। अभी मैं अहमदाबाद घूमने आई थी और मेरे फैमिली के साथ मैंने ट्रिप प्लान किया और हम आज ही आए हैं रन घूमने और टेंट सिटी बहुत ही सुंदर है। अभी हम जस्ट वाइट रन देख के आए हैं, बहुत ही खूबसूरत है सब कुछ।
2001 में जब भूकंप आया था उसके बाद जो कच्छ की और भुज की जो हालत हुई थी, उसके बाद आज देखा जाए तो बहुत तरक्की और प्रगति हुई है। 80% से ज़्यादा जो इधर जो काम करते हैं सब इधर के लोकल रोजगार है, जो टेंट सिटी में जो भी अपनी सर्विस दे रहे हैं, जो भी अपना सर्विस में काम कर रहे हैं, वो लोकल ही है। 80% उनको रोजगार मिल रहा है और इतना अच्छा सुंदर बनाया है कि प्रदर्शन भी बाहर से लोग दूर से लोग देखने आ रहे हैं।
The influx of tourists to the Ranotsav has benefited the local community, particularly artisans. The festival offers a global platform for Kutch's craftsmen to sell their creations, while Tent City hosts handloom and handicraft shops, creating employment opportunities. Cultural programs also provide a stage for local performers to showcase their talents. The Ranotsav, held annually in Kutch's White Desert, has become a major tourist attraction and a vital income source for the local community. It has created numerous job opportunities, with camel and horse owners guiding tourists through the desert and remote areas, improving their livelihoods and economic conditions. Now it's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra, signing off on behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.